Welcome to Long Beach, California, the first night race in the ERL INDYCAR series, as the drivers now get off the line for their piece around the track. We have 11 racing laps around here today, and the man starting this race from the front, the Scotsman himself, Puff, driving for Dragon Penske. Then Mickey Ongurovich, his own teammate of Penske 1-2. So they are probably the favourites for this race. Following them, a 3-4 for the two Sims drivers. That is Niven Colby and Milsos Majka, the Polish driver, the one we're riding on board with. Then Salos Kynes, man, currently in 5th. Bill Buns 6th from Francis Austin and Inoki. Then Sebastian Messian, Lewis Olsen, Elliot Deli, Carlson Thornburg, the only man starting this race on the hards. Then Linus Eriksson, Saf San, Tommy, David Camino, Quee Ghosted, Quan Todoroki, Max Bortka, Hexel Mark, and TJ Davis, as we're on board with a man in car number 9. He wasn't really one of the raciest drivers in the preseason test, and as for the race in St. Petersburg, we have officially found all the issues that happened there, and they have all been rectified, so we can start races with a pace lap. But the soft tyres certainly being the favourite tyre for most, the race likely to be a 1-stop, possibly a 2-stopper. Don't expect it to be a 2-stop race. The mediums probably will go to about half race distance, possibly a little bit further. On board once again with the man starting this race at the front of the pack, Puff. The field separated by 7 seconds heading down the back straight. We do expect the Andretti's to start punching above their weight. They're down in 19th and 20th, not the best starting position for them. Chip Ganassi, they had quite the race last time out. Probably a better race than Penske were expected to have. As the pace car will pull into the pits at the end of this lap, we will get underway here in Long Beach very shortly. I've been told that I should probably say this. So as the pace car now comes into the pits, Puff rounding out the final corner. Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys! Into turn 1 they come. No change for the lead. Gurovich not trying to make any passes. In fact, the gaps between the top 4 staying effectively stationary. We expect this race to be won a lot more on strategy. Linus Eriksson looking for a way to try and get past Carson Thornburg, rather. It's a THO, which is why I thought Thomas. As here comes the Chip Ganassi man. He might be on the slower hard tyres, but it doesn't mean that he can't try and make a move on his teammate. And it's a move on his more experienced teammate that he's going to try and hold on to. And it's a move that he does hold on to, and he's now on the back of the Norwegian in front of him, Lewis Olsen. He's started this race in 10th, remains 10th, looks to try and get himself up into 9th, gets past an RQ quite quickly in the 95 car. That's Olsen making the move on the Hong Kong driver, as the two Chip Ganassi drivers still fighting over 11th position. It's still Puff out in front, leading this race. The top 6 haven't changed position. Gurovich running a fastest second sector of anyone. Further up, that's a yellow car. No, it's... My goodness, what a fight for position. I think, yeah, that's Milsos in that fight for 4th. The top 3 certainly ain't fighting, but every position back, yeah, there's a massive fight going on here. On board, out of the race goes Milsos. Full course yellow for the Polish driver. Fastest lap goes to Salos Kynes. And for Milsos Majka, that is truly unfortunate for him. Started this race behind his teammate, tries to defend his position, gets effectively forced into the wall by Salos Kynes, because if he tries to hold the inside line a lot more, he's going to collide with Salos, and it might take out both of them. So he decided to go wide, hoping that he could keep it out of the wall, but he couldn't. A quarter of the way through this race here in California under the lights, making this Long Beach race and night races probably one of the better ideas we've had in a long time. You can see you're watching the ERL INDYCAR series on BDS Formula 1 Motorsports and on UCable Sport, where you get the highlights package. As we're looking back with Carlos Sainz. That number 55 hasn't been in the ERL for a long time. I think you have to cast your minds back to season number 14 in Formula E for Salos' last start. It's great to see that he's back as we head to lap 4 of 12. But he needs to get himself onto the back of Niven Colby if he's going to try and go for the podium, and then try and chase up the Penske duo to win this race. Talking about the Dragon Penske team in the white and red liveries, this is probably their easiest race they've had in a long time. Especially considering last time out, Jurovic was handed the win on a silver platter, but it was stripped away from him due to a timing error. Similar timing error happened in the Formula E series, except there, much bigger complications considering the scale of that title battle. You've got multiple drivers in the hunt for the championship. I'd argue that everyone in Formula E currently has the shot of winning the title, and I'd argue certainly everyone in INDYCAR right now has the chance of winning the title. Jurovic will have push to pass, or does he? I don't think he does, but he is gaining. He doesn't have push to pass on his own teammate. He's just closing in. Does he drive to the inside? He does, with those soft tires all dinged up, and that will be Mikion Jurovic alongside his teammates into the final turn. Both of these drivers gonna have to make sure that they don't do a Milsauce, and they have ensured that. And UAPath of Scotland maintains the race lead. Why the hell did I say Scotland? But Francis Austin coming into the pits. Next time out, we will be in Austin, Texas. Saf San coming into the pits as well. So for Francis, a driver who looks like the runaway favourite in one of the many preseason tests that we've done. We've only had one of them. I don't know if this is going to be the smartest strategy for the McLaren man. The Penske duo still fighting over the race lead. If Niven Colby is going to make any sort of moves for the lead, he's going to have to make it quickly and possibly even right now, or else it's just not going to happen at all. Jurovic either still on the back of UAPath, the neutral athlete racing under the European Union flag. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this already, but it's similar to Daniel Bogdasarov. Both of these drivers are Russian, but have to enter under a different flag. Here comes Jurovic, using push to pass once more into the very same section, still lunging down the inside, still hopping over the curb, but this time he's probably more convincingly ahead. We're approaching half race distance, and these soft tires are now beginning to go off that high performance cliff. In comes Jurovic, so UAPath maintains the race lead still at half race distance, and has effectively signed himself to the one-stop strategy. I think the one-stop is going to be the only strategy that you're going to have to need to do, because those softs have lasted a lot longer than many drivers would have thought they did. But if you pitted around lap 4, well, no, you're going to have to hope that drivers like Lil Buns can make it to lap 8, because if they can't, then you won't be able to make it to the end of the race. But the mediums at 49% tire wear, I think drivers like Francis Austin might have made a slight miscalculation in terms of their strategy, and not Q in 16th position. He's just pitted. He's probably not going to make it to the end with those tires, because Ewer's softs absolutely shredded like a cheese grater. Jurovic came out of the pits in 12th. as we are watching his teammate lead this race here in Long Beach, California, at half race distance heading into the final sector of the track. And further back, someone's making a move. That's Lil Buns getting himself up into third position ahead of Sebastian Messiaen. Those medium tyres, despite being as worn, if not more worn, than the softs on Seb's car, still looking to be a lot quicker. Ewer's coming into the pits. Salos surely has to come into the pits at the end of this lap. He does. Lil Buns, however, stays out and will lead lap 7 of 12. But where is Mikion Gurovic? He's heading down the straight. He's got a face full of blue, whether that be the Revolution or Sims cars. He's behind Niven Colby, and in fact, Niven Colby currently has the net race lead. Francis Austin's gained as well. He's up to 5th position and net P3, and Ewer Puff, coming out of the pits with fresher medium tyres, drops down to 6th position. Luckily for him, he will only have to do 5 more laps on those mediums, which he can do easily, unlike someone like Austin, who we are not too sure about whether or not he will make it to the end of the race. Colby probably will make it to the end. As for Carson Thornburg, the Chip Ganassi man on the hard tyres, only man to start this race on the hards, well, he's been caught. He has been caught by Niven Colby, who will now lunge his way into 2nd position, going down the inside. Had to take a long time to make that move. Austin's going to get attack mode. Here comes Gurovic with push to pass, as well as Colby. All of these guys with push to pass, in fact. There goes Mikion Gurovic up into 2nd position, but he's still got Niven Colby right behind him. Colby not deciding to make the move down the inside. Francis Austin right on the back of Carson Thornburg, however, and we do expect Lil Buns to come into the pits. He did 7 laps on those mediums, and that's going to be a big worry for this man, Francis Austin, because that means that he cannot go to the end of the race. That's what his McLaren team has to be radioing to him. So it is Mikion Gurovic who leads from Niven Colby and Francis Austin. Carson Thornburg, man, currently in 4th position, with those hard tyres absolutely battered up like some scrambled eggs. He's been passed by Ewer Puff, the man who started this race from the front of the pack. He's now got 2 seconds to his teammate who has inherited the race lead, but Niven Colby in the 37. Car number 37 trying to take the race lead away from Gurovic, and you know what? He's done it! With 4 laps left to run, Niven Colby on the road currently, only a 1/10 of a second ahead of Mikion Gurovic, but there goes Gurovic back up into the race lead. Colby still got the inside line. I believe both drivers will get pushed to pass, not attack mode. This is not the Formula E series. On board we go with Mikion Gurovic. Attack mode. That's where it would be in Formula E. Push to pass available for Colby, but not for Mikion. Ewer Puff's found his way up into 3rd, and he's probably going to be in that fight for the lead not too long after this next lap. In fact, he's all over the back of his teammate. He's going to get pushed to pass on the next lap. He's going to get himself back into the fight with fresher tyres. The 2-stop strategy around here is not an ideal strategy, because, yeah, you can gain track position with it, but it's just not ideal. As Thornburg coming into the pits, 9 laps on the hard tyres. There's a possibility that he could have done 10, but still not what Thornburg would have wanted to have happen today. He's going to drop to the very back of the pack, even behind PJ Davis, the Newman Haas driver in the number 3 car. Niven Colby has taken the lead away from Mikion Gurovic, who has dropped down to 3rd position. All lines go now towards Ewer Puff as to whether or not he can reclaim his race lead. Just gonna check. Delhi drives car number 38. Colby drives the 37. I almost thought we had 2 drivers driving the same car number. Colby, however, he's been caught by the Scotsman, who comes alongside him. He's gonna get pushed to pass. Those medium tyres looking a lot worse. Here he comes. Push to pass available for Ewer Puff. He's gaining. He slips into the slipstream. I don't think he's gonna be able to make a lunge down the inside at this next turn. He does not make the lunge. He'll get another opportunity heading out of turn number 2. As we now enter the final turn on lap number 9. There's a possibility that we do see some drivers go for the 2-stop strategy. Prix gets a 5-second time penalty further back for causing a collision with Quanto Todoroki. And Colby, he's been caught. There goes Uapath to the race lead as Francis Austin comes into the pits. Further back, Thornburg and TJ Davis, you can see on the minimap, fighting over position. I believe Thornburg will have taken 20th now. Yes, he has. But Colby, now with push to pass, it's up to him to see if he can try and take the race lead back from Uapath of Scotland. But can the Malaysian driver do it? He goes around the outside. Has he made the pass work? He's going to have the inside line coming out of the chicane. But it's another W section on the track. This track has 2 of them. And the Scotsman currently leads for Dragon Penske in their second start in the INDYCAR series. And we've seen quite a lot of great racing today. Now all we have to do is watch this finish, and in fact you can see the grandstands lighting up. The crowd is roaring and trying to deafen the sounds of these Indy cars, but they're just not quite able to do so. Niven Colby with push to pass into the braking zone. Can he do it? Sends it down the inside, doesn't use too much curb, and coming out of it, they are neck and neck. You was beginning to feel a little bit of tire wear. Colby trying to drift to the outside line, and does he pit? He does not. On to the penultimate lap we go for the fight for the lead between Uapath and Niven Colby in the second round of the ERL IndyCar Series here in Long Beach, California. Uapath still leading here in that number 9 car. He's doing an amazing job defending from the Sims driver right behind him. The championship leader, Niven Colby. Sims Motorsports taking their first race win, the first race win for any team in the IndyCar Series. That is about 4 seasons quicker than what they did in Formula E. Niven trying to get past. He wanted to go down the inside, just didn't quite work out for him. Carlos Sainz has had the fastest lap for a long time. He's currently in 4th ahead of Lil Buns, and in fact he's not very threatened at all. TJ Davis at the back of the pack, struggling with his mediums. Niven Colby also on those very short mediums. He's gonna have very little grip come the final lap. But if it means he can take the lead, I think he'll take it quite well. Because here he goes, Niven Colby with push to pass into the race lead on the penultimate lap in Long Beach. And now for Uapath, he's got one more lap to reclaim the race lead. One more lap to take it away from the number 37 in front of him. And one more lap to make sure that his flag can be at the top step of the podium. Here we go, the final lap in Long Beach, using the battery-stored version of push to pass. Down the main straight, through turn number 2 they go, into 3. He's going to get another helping of push to pass, this time the aerodynamic version, into turn number 4. He's gaining. And those tires, they are graining. 44% tire wear. Lunges to the inside. Uapath takes the lead. Brilliant move. A late braking move. But he's now got to hold on. Stay ahead of Niven Colby. He's done it. He closes the door coming out of that section of the track. And now for Colby. He's got one opportunity. One last shot to try and take the lead and make it 2 on the bounce in the ERL IndyCar Series. Heading down this long back straight, one of the longest on the calendar. He pulls out to the inside. This is going to go right down to the braking zone if he can't get it done. Those mediums absolutely shot, but it doesn't matter to him. Using push to pass, Niven Colby takes the lead ahead of Uapath. This has been a fight that has started in lap 10. It's continued to the final lap for Ewer. He's got another opportunity through the final turn, but he needs to be a lot closer than 0.5 of a second back. It's going to finish like this as Little Buns gets himself up into 4th position, and rounding the final turn in Long Beach, Niven Colby takes victory ahead of Ewer Path. 2nd position will be Mickey Ongurovich, then Little Buns in 4th from Salos Kines and Linus Eriksson. As you can see, the fight for the points ahead of Francis Austin. Honestly, what a magnificent race. What a magnificent race. It's the 2nd win on the bounce for Sims Porsche, and this time they've done it on track without the aid of any timing failures. Here's the podium then. Niven Colby takes the victory for Sims Porsche ahead of Ewer Path, who seriously would have wanted to have a lot more happen to him there than just how it finished off. Then Mickey Ongurovich in 3rd position, bringing home a 2-3 for the team Dragon Penske. Then Lil Buns in 4th from Salos Kines and Linus Eriksson. Then Elliot Deli, Tommy Anokyu and Sebastian Messian, your finishers. And yes, we do still have the fastest lap point in the IndyCar series. Then it's Francis Austin, Lewis Olsen, Quan Todoroki and teammate Max Bortkar getting some well-needed movement up the field, but just not points. Then Carson Thornburg, that strategy didn't work out for him. David Camino ghosted Oakwee with that 5-second time penalty. Saf Stan, Hexelmark, and TJ Davis, with Milsos Micah being the only non-finisher. The driver's standings is as this: Niven Colby winning out ahead of Mickey Ongurovich. Colby leading from Gurovich is probably better to say. Then it's Lil Buns, the Ukrainian driver, still yet to take a race win, but still putting in some strong performances. Then Ewer Path, Elliot Deli, Carson Thornburg, Salos Kines and Linus Eriksson. Then TJ Davis, Quan Todoroki, Milsos Micah tied with Tommy. Then Anokyu and Sebastian Messian with Francis Austin, David Camino, Max Bortkar, Sam ghosted. Hexelmark and Lewis Olsen yet to score any points. In the constructors standings heading into the 3rd round of the championship in Texas, Sims Motorsport leads 1 point ahead of Dragon Penske. Then it is Newman Haas, Chip Ganassi, Apex Pinnacle, McLaren, Andretti Revolution Racing, Power Motorsport, Prema Power Team, and Hyperdrive Racing. We will see you guys next time then when the ERL IndyCar Series returns.